Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. I have a question from a viewer on my community page named Deb DP. Question is, Rand Paul's been awfully quiet for a while now. What can you tell him about us? Okay, so that's a good question. To be honest, he has totally disappeared from the limelight, hasn't he? So I was doing just some quick searches on Rand Paul just to find out, what's he been up to? Not a lot. He's trying to repeal a tax that was brought in with the Affordable Care Act. Apparently in the Affordable Care Act, they wanted to tax Botox by 5%. And that got some resistance. So instead they implemented a 10% tax on tanning booths. And I'm assuming that's because tanning booths are exposing your largest organ, your skin, to harmful UV radiation. Regardless if you call it far or near and safe or whatnot, UV radiation is damaging to the skin. Leads to skin cancer, which can lead to other cancers. So, just like smoking, if you want to take on risky behavior, get ready to pay for it. So that's his big thing. He was against the hike to the debt ceiling, and he's trying to come up with his own plan that would have short-circuited the Biden-McCarthy agreement. He was against the Republican plan to ban TikTok, and he also held up some a trade deal or a financial deal that would have provided funds for businesses that operate both in the U.S. and Taiwan. So what is that? And not to forget that he led a small delegation to Russia, like in the summer of 2018, where he delivered a letter from Trump to Vladimir Putin. What does that tell us? Well, Rand Paul is in the pocket of Putin. Now, just because he went to Russia and delivered a letter doesn't mean he's in the pocket of Putin. But then he starts saying that countries around Russia that were former Soviet Union countries like Georgia and Moldova don't have the right for self-autonomy. He's held up funding for the Ukraine for the Ukraine defense or the Ukraine war against Russia after Russia invaded Ukraine. And, he seems to be pro-China. These are all against U.S. normal interests. So Rand Paul's bought and paid for. That's for entertainment purposes only, but that's my take on it. That these are not typical conservative takes. Typical conservative takes had Russia and China as enemies number 1 and 2 for much of the Cold War. Russia was the immediate enemy. China was the big enemy in the future. And all of a sudden, you're just pandering to them? Dude, you're a doctor. You should have been wealthy enough, but apparently, no. Where there's money, there's lots of money. So, Rand Paul, what's going on with you? Let's see what Spirit has to say with you. And I think that second part of her question was, will he be going away? So let's find out. Rand Paul, just get a general read on what's going on with him, and then we'll find out if he's going to be reelected in the next election cycle. So what's going on with Rand Paul? Oh, dear me. As Trump goes, he's going to take down people with him, and I think Rand Paul is going to be one of the people that goes down with him. Yep. Okay, so I think everything that he's been doing is going to lead to his downfall. He's been making foolish decisions, foolish choices. He made strange bedfellows, and now he has to sleep in the bed that he made. And it's going to be his undoing. We got Ace of Wands in the past, Ace of Pentacles in the current situation. Lots of power in there. Ace of Swords, good heavens. 3 aces. Mr. Paul, what have you been up to? Where's your Ace of Cups, dude? There's your Russia card. And there's your Knight of Cups. And the 8 of Wands underneath it. Well, he may have been quiet, but good Lord, this guy's had all this stuff going on with him. And he's starting all sorts of new ventures. New dealings, and it's leading him right off the cliff, and it's going to be his undoing. Everything everything that he's built up, maybe whatever reputation he's built up is going to be destroyed, and anything he touches is going to turn to lead. Not to gold, to lead. What's in the past? Ace of Wands. He had some great ideas of what he was going to do, and he took steps, lots of steps apparently, to implement these ideas. And I think we're going to go all the way back to that trip where he delivered that letter to Russia. Foolish thing to do. He basically signed on. He signed on to everything that followed after that. So, it seemed like a good idea at the time. What's currently going on? He's getting his rewards for what he did. He's getting paid. I'm sure, everything that he did to help Russia along, the things he said about Moldova and Georgia, that was in 2022, if I'm not mistaken, if I read that article right. And holding up funding to Ukraine, he's on the take. And I think with the stuff that's going on with China, he's on the take. So I think he's getting a lot of financial support, shall we say, or a lot of things of value for his current positions, which don't seem to be in the best interest of the U.S., but do seem to be in the best interest of Rand Paul. Let's see if that turns into fool's gold. Over it all is the Ace of Swords. I think he thought it was a great idea and he was going to be winning with this, but I think this is the sword of justice and truth. And I think what's going to end up happening is, probably due to some investigations with shenanigans that Dear Donald is doing and other members of Congress, his financial dealings and his dealings with these countries are going to be exposed. Picture, if you will, I forget what the act is, where you have to register as a foreign agent, an agent of a foreign government. They might find out that with his great idea and the money and the things value he's been getting, he's been acting as an agent for a foreign government, and he didn't declare it. And if that truth comes out, it's going to be his undoing. The lesson to be learned: the Empress is about taking care of everybody and making sure everybody has enough. And in the low energy is very lazy person, very self-entitled. That could be describing him. Certainly, the things he's been doing hasn't been in the best interest of the United States. You could make an argument if it's the best interest of the world, but definitely not in the best interest of the United States. But to me, this is the Russia card. This is Russia, Russia, Russia. This is Russia that's been providing him with information, Russia providing him with money and things of material value, and helping him along with whatever adventures that he's got going on. But the Russian regime is falling apart here. And with the Ukraine offensive having begun, and readings I've done on that in the past have shown it's going, once it gets going, this is the end. This will be the end of that war with Ukraine winning. And that's going to mean regime change in Russia. And you might get a regime that's a little more friendly to the U.S. And then what? Then your secrets might start getting revealed as a token of faith. Outcome is the Knight of Cups. I think he's going to continue going out there, making his connections. And maybe he'll make his case to the American people or something along those lines. But I think that in the end of the day, maybe he'll have a tearful apology as he resigns or something along those lines. This tells me it's not going to his removal may not happen very soon. It's happening, but it's happening. I say it's happening in slow motion, but I've got the Eight of Wands showing that something is coming quickly. That Tower moment in that Fool card, it's either something that's happening quickly or it has to do with air travel or overseas travel or something along those lines. I'll go with the straight reading and say something's going to happen quickly. His Tower moment is going to happen quickly, and it's about new adventures that he had gone on. And when I look back at the cards on the stuff that he's done, it involves Russia and involves China. And I think that's going to be his undoing. Maybe it's the overtures that he made to them. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that Knight of Cups outcome is going to be. I suppose I could throw clarifiers on it, You are allowed to do that. Let me see if we can find that card now. Oh, God, this is great for great TV, David. There's your Ace of Cups. You know what? I'm just going to get the cards in here. I really do bury the cards. I can't find it now. It'll pop up. What was that Knight of Cups about? Spirit, if you can just give me some clarifier cards on that Knight of Cups, I'd really appreciate it. I'm a little bit confused. What is that Knight of Cups telling me? Maybe he gives over evidence. That could be crap, saving your bacon. Hey, I've got something. We're friends here, right? Maybe you can help me out here. Help a buddy out. Scratch your back, you scratch mine. Quid pro quo and all that. What's Rand Paul? An outcome of the Knight of Cups with Rand Paul. What's that all about? Get some clarifiers on it. All right, let's see what we get. We needed that Knight of Cups came up again. Judgment is what we get out of it. Oh, dear, 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 dear. That's not very good. Judgment, the Republican Party. Secrets are going to be revealed. Queen of Wands. Oh, dear. Somebody. Okay, so, okay. Yeah, that Knight of Cups that's coming out, he's going forward trying to make, probably trying to make nice with people investigating him. That tells me he's probably going to flip. Judgment's here. He's found out, and he's going to spill the beans to save his own bacon. So we have Judgment, and we have the secrets. The secrets that haven't been revealed yet, but that will be revealed. It's going to impact the Republican Party. Remember, the Russians hacked into the DNC server and released the emails, which is why the head of the DNC resigned, and there was all sorts of mayhem in the DNC in the 2016 timeframe. But what we forget is they also hacked into the Republican National Committee servers, and that information, those emails were never leaked. There's your compromise right there. So it involves the Republicans. It involves decisions that were made involving the Republicans and choices that were made. And underneath it all is the argy-bargy, the fighting and the turmoil. So I think whatever judgment it is and the deals he makes is going to cause mayhem. And it's going to lead the Justice Department into yet more investigations. And that's simply because Rand Paul is going to try and save his bacon, and he's going to implicate others because they're all like that. Okay, tea spilt. Sit back and enjoy the fun for Rand Paul. I don't know when that's happening, but when it does, enjoy the ride because it's going to be yet another dumpster fire in the GOP. Thank you for the question. Thank you for supporting my channel, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.